Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Garden of Ethan. Welcome back. I hope you are doing well. I did quickly look through my YouTube playlist to make sure I hadn't worn this shirt, and now I'm second guessing if I have or hadn't. So if I had, I'm very sorry. If I have, I'm sorry. If I haven't, good, I can see properly. But it's a little mushroom number. I don't know how much I actually like this shirt that much. I loved it when I got it and then realized it kind of really washes me out. Like, luckily here I've got like some okay lighting for myself so I don't look as but I feel like in real life it kind of pales me out. Yeah, big props. I'm gonna give a shout out, big shout out to that light right there. Even though it makes me so unbelievably warm, it does wonders for my for my skin. Nothing makes you look better than an okay angle and a lot of light shining so brightly at you. It removes all the flaws. Someone commented probably, I don't know, maybe like a month ago, and they were like, "Oh, I don't know." It was a comment that was like, "I hate how bland your setup is and the lighting's awful." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." I was like, I just moved, but sure. Like, you know, everyone's entitled to their opinion. But I was like, also, I think they said something about looking exposed. I was like, babe, that's the goal. I'm like, that's the fucking goal, is to look overexposed, so you can't see anything going on. Like, I'm very, you know, I do like, what road am I going down? Sometimes I'll be like, I'll have like a couple of blemishes and I'll be like, ooh, but like at the moment it's fine. But I kind of just, you know, got used to this sort of vibe, this look. And like, it does change depending how far away I am. It really like focuses on what's going on. Here's probably kind of a shitty spot. I should be closer, but I kind of sit in my table. A house tour still coming. It's not going to be coming for a while. I hate everything. It's all the lights going weird. Because I still, like, as you can see, we have nothing going on. But we're following up this week. We're following up from last week. I had surgery. Thank you. First of all, thank you for the people who wished me a speedy recovery and good luck. I have been absolutely terrible at like replying just in general, and I've said this multiple times, but this week especially, I've been finding it, I'm okay. I've come out all right. I'm alive, and I plan to talk about it because it was I was going to say fun journey. It wasn't a fun journey, but it was an interesting thing that happened to me this week. Yeah, I got surgery just for the content. That was literally all it was for. But I'm having like, I was talking to my friend about this. It's very weird when I'm somewhat very like work orientated, and I set my goals for myself. Like, I like posting at least a video a day. I've been trying to pump out more shorts. I'm very like want to do well, because I love doing this. I think it's so fun, and getting to reach out and react to different things and do different things, and keep getting better at what I do, which is fun. And I love doing that. So I stick myself to a routine, and I assume many people can like vibe with this. And you have this thing where you have surgery, you get sick, and you really should take time off and just like rest and relax. And like the day I got it, I came out, went back to my parents' house because I wasn't like meant to be alone that night, even though I think I would have made it, I would have been fine. But like I was like, they're like, you have to have someone stay with you. So I like had a pretty like chill day with my parents that day. But like, I went home the next day, got home, recorded videos, started editing already, and have just got back into that cycle. And then I'll be like feeling a bit like shit, because like and I'll go more into surgery and stuff, but like I'll be feeling like kind of crappy. I'll be like, oh, like when you're like hard on yourself, even though you shouldn't be. It's just a really interesting human thing that I think so many people, and anyone who's like slightly like work orientated or even just like likes that routine can relate to. You're just like, I should just be fine. Like yesterday I played games with my friends like for half the day and I was just like relaxing and having fun, but then I was just like, no, like after that I've got to keep working, I've got to do work, I've got to make sure I'm not giving myself that. And I think it's so weird and interesting, especially that you can like, I think a lot of people that are like me, and if you can relate, let me know. It's interesting that you can like pick that out and you can see that. You're like, you should give yourself a break. Like it's fine to take a couple of days off, and these things, but then you still catch yourself in like, well, we'll just do like a little bit of work. We'll just do like a couple hours here, a couple of hours there. We'll do this. Oh no, I'll stay up till like 1 a.m. just like finishing things off, and then get up for the gym, have no sleep, which is the time where you need a heal. And it's just so wild being like that. I don't know. So I'm doing well. I'm trying to, I'm doing like half days. I'm doing my work, but also trying to take it a little bit rest. But yes, again, thank you. I don't know where this tangent started. As we know, I am kind of too tangenty. Too many tangents go on for me. But surgery day. So the surgery was, what day is it? It is Tuesday. It is Tuesday, day of when I post this, because I was like, it makes more sense to do it the week of. And I got surgery last Thursday. So, Thursday morning, what happens? I get up. I wake up. I was like kind of nervous all week. Like, I feel like I talked about it, and I talked about being a bit nervous, but like when you go under anesthesia, when you get knocked out, you're like, I feel like you're always going to be like, a lot of people would be a bit nervous. It's a daunting thing. So I've been kind of like, I talked about it and I was like, I'm a bit nervous. Got more nervous from there. For like the next 2 days, I was like, I ain't sleeping well because I'm stressed about this. And also like, I was like, I've got to get work done and do all that. And you just kind of like, you can't put everything off, but then when you try and go to sleep, it's kind of stuck on your mind and you think, oh shit, that's all I can think about. And then the nerves kick back in. So the night before, the Wednesday night, took me a while to get to sleep because I was a bit stressed, but I was kind of like, I think it's one of those things where when it happens, like as soon as you get put out, you're fine. Like, because you're just going to wake up and then deal with it. Like, it's kind of the anticipation, which always sucks the most. Because I know if I wake up, like, which I did, obviously, I'm here. But if you wake up, you're going to be fine. Like, you're going to just move forward. You're going to deal with it. You're going to, depending on what it is. And so, like, mine wasn't a very, like, risky operation or anything. It wasn't, like, there weren't very many chances of anything bad going wrong, just... keep things clean, heal, blah, blah, blah. But, so Wednesday night, bit freaked out, got up early because, like, you have to, also had to fast. Fasting sucks. Fasting sucks so much. I hate it forever. I hate its existence. I don't want to do it. Don't make me fast, you pieces of shit. I get why you have to do it because I think it's like if you have food or liquids in you when you go under, they can like, your body relaxes and they could kind of like choke you or something. But bitch, I'm hungry. But even not that, I'm thirsty. I woke up the next morning, as I do most mornings, dying of thirst. I wake up very thirsty. It's just, I wake up, I drink a lot of water, and usually go straight to the gym, drink a lot of water, go throughout my day, I drink a lot of water in a day. I like a bit of aqua. I like to be hydrated. So that was really rough when they're like, you can't eat. And I was like, that's fine. My surgeries are like 11-ish. But not being able to drink till then is like crazy. It is a wild experience. It's a hard experience. So I was like, actually, this is going to be painful. But my mum came and picked me up. Shout out to my mum for looking after me all day. She was very great. I thank her very much. But she picked me up. We went on the way. We're kind of chatting. We're doing my new favorite thing. I can't do a monthly favorite things because I don't have I like the same things every month. But my monthly favorite thing at the moment is Connections, the New York Times. It's not, I want to say it's the new Wordle, but it's not the new Wordle because everyone's been doing it for a while. I've been doing it for probably a couple of weeks now. I really like that game. Let me know if y'all play because that shit's so fun. I always think about, I'm like, oh, I could do like a YouTube short every day on my Connections, but sometimes I'm like, do I want to show how many I get wrong? No. But I was talking to my mom and I was like, here, like, this is a fun thing. We did the Connections and then we what did we do? We went on like a site where you could just do heaps of connections and we're just doing that and we're having a fun time. I was bullying her. It was, good times. We go into the hospital, we check in. I'm like, cool. We do some more connections. We go to do like make sure all the things correct. And I'm wearing my glasses. And I don't know if I mentioned, but I only got them a month or two ago. I think from whenever we started seeing them, that's when I got them. But I still haven't. I'm a lazy piece of shit and I have been meaning to get them tightened because looking directly at you, fine, my glasses stay on, but I haven't got them tightened. So my first awkward encounter of the day is I'm having to do this paperwork. I'll just check over everything. This lady keeps giving me things to read. I keep looking down to read things and my glasses keep falling off. And she's kind of looking at me like, you're a mess. And I'm like, yes, I am, miss. But I'm sorry, my glasses are not staying on my face. Just ignore it. Just like, it's such an awkward thing to just like look down and then, your seeing devices fall off and then you're like, turn into Velma from Scooby-Doo. But that wasn't the worst thing. She didn't actually really mention it at all. We moved on. We went to another, I think like a nurse or a nursing assistant, and she was kind of like talking, like checking my blood pressure, height, weight, all that stuff. And she was like, oh, like, you got any things? And I was like, I have 1,000 questions. But she was like, want anything done? And I was like, I have a request. Last time when I got my wisdom teeth out, I'm not a needles guy. I'm not a needles guy. I'm not a blood guy. I'm not a surgery guy. I'm not really that sort of guy. Movies and stuff, I can do it. I can deal with it. But real life, I don't really like it. When I get a blood test, I have to lie down and look away. I can't do it. It makes me vomity. It makes me pass outy. And we don't really need that. So I was like, they have these really fun patches where they put on both your like hands, numbing patches so they can put the needles in and you don't feel it. And you kind of just like, and then it's easier to do and you don't have to have like a freak out. I could probably deal with it. It's just, I'm already stressed about these other things. If that can be done, it's like, I really appreciate it. I'm like, thank you for doing that. So they're like, yep, cool. So we like, she's like, okay, you can say goodbye to your mum now. I was like, Mummy, I don't want to say goodbye. I was like, okay, my will's written. I love you all. God bless. I was like, I'm done for. So I say goodbye to mum. She leaves and I've like still got my phone, and then she like walks me into a room and she's like, here, like go chill in here. Here's your bag, like to put your clothes in. Here's your gown. Wraps in the front. I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, all the clothes off. We're in a gown. I was like, ooh, I was like, this is a fun little number. I like get out and I'm like, I was like, and then she's like, here's a warm towel. And I was like, a warm towel? I was like, am I going to get surgery or am I having spa treatment? I was like, this is fantastic. But obviously it's because there are people can get cold. Also, like, everyone else was a lot older. So I was like, yeah, we would be worried for them. But I've like got the warm towel on me. I'm on my phone, but there's like no reception. So I'm watching the fucking news. And I'm like, I'm bored. The guy in front of me, here's a book. I was like, you've done this before because you know what's up. You're smart. Or you just don't use your phone much, which would make a lot more sense now that I'm thinking about it. But I was like, okay, so I'm just kind of sitting there, which is hard because I'm like nervous, so I want things to distract myself. Honestly, I should just watched my own YouTube shorts because they're in my camera roll on my phone. But I guess I didn't have headphones, and that would be wild to watch your own videos like out in public. Oh, that would be no. Okay, yeah, no. Sorry, scratch that. But we kind of I'm sitting there, and the lady comes in. She's like, here's like the patches. She puts them on my hands, and she's like, here's another blanket to like keep them warm. And I was like, okay, she didn't really explain that, but I was like, does that mean I have to like have them under the blanket? Like, do I have to keep them warm for them to work? I was very confused, and she was already gone. I was like, okay. So I'm like sitting here, and they take, which I didn't know, about 40 minutes to work. So I was like, cool, no phone, 40 minutes. This is fun. So I just sit there, try not to panic. And it kind of went by kind of quickly because I was just like watching. I was in a room and there wasn't much going on, but this guy kept coming in with a cart, and he was like playing really not intense, but like pop, like really loud music. And I was like, not the vibe I thought you'd be allowed to go for. I was like, okay, well, this is keeping me entertained, I guess. So I'm watching that, and then the lady comes back in and she's like, oh, we'll walk you over to this bed. And she's like, do you want to hop up? And I was like, oh, okay. So I like lied down on the bed. I was like, oh, this is like serious. I was like, I feel like I'm in one of those TV shows. Like I'm on like a gurney. I was like, I'm in, and she like put the sides up, and she's like, okay, just lie there. We'll be back in like another 20 minutes. I was like, okay, cool. But I'm just like lying there, and now I'm like really freaking out because I'm like, this shit's real. I knew it was real, but you know what I meant? It like felt very, because the only sort of like thing I had done was wisdom teeth, and that was a very, very chill environment, very in and out, like done quickly. Wasn't in like a hospital. So I was just like, okay, whatever. And they're just gone. And I'm like, I'm freaking out a little. I don't know what's going on. And all I can hear, because they've like closed the curtains, so I can only see forward. But I can hear these nurses, doctors, people that work at a hospital. I'm assuming nurses. I'm pretty sure there was like a desk there. I can see all these people walking kind of in and out, but only like, but I can't see where they talk, and I can hear them talking, but they're talking low because it's like a quiet place, but I can hear them like bitching. I was like, I know you guys are having a good bitch. I can hear it. I can hear you whispering. I know you're talking about fucking Sandra, your fucking ward nurse or whatever. I know Sandra's a bitch. I know what's going on. I was like, I love to gossip, and you need to, hi, welcome to my ASMR channel. I was like, you need to come in, you need to open my blind drawer, and you need to come bitch with me because I need to know what's going on, because first of all, I'm having a fucking panic attack. I'm freaking the absolute fuck out. I need someone to distract me. And y'all are doing one of the things I love best, having a bitch. I was like, come over here now. Literally now. And come talk to me. Because I was like, I would love nothing more than to talk to you people. Because I can hear it, but I can't actually hear anything you're saying. I was like, trying to distract yourself with TV, but the volume's like just at that point where you can't hear. I'm like, I'm so intrigued of what's going on, because I can, like, some of them are laughing, some of them are giggling. Yeah, I'm like, let me in. I'm like, let me in, let me know what's going on. So that's there. And then eventually my my knockout doctor assistant comes over, and she was like, hi, I'm the assistant. And I was like, okay, like, cool. And it's one of those things where she like came, asked me a couple of questions, and then left quickly. And you can't like, they've got a mask, they got like a head thing on, can't see much of their body. You can't kind of tell their vibe. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh, I don't think she likes me. I was like, because I was freaking out. I was, hyper aware of everything. I was like, I don't know, maybe she was mean. I don't know. I can't figure it out. She came back. She was so lovely. Don't judge a book by its cover. She quickly popped in, popped out, popped back in 10 minutes later. She was so lovely. We're having a chat. She like, and when you're like, when they got like a mask on, got like the head thing on, you can't tell kind of how old anyone is. So, and that leads to something. But I was like, I don't know, like who you are. I can barely tell. You're just a thing in a lot of blue. I was like, that's all I can really tell about you. But she was like, as we were about to go and she was about to roll me gurney, she's like, oh, like put a hairnet on me. Didn't do it well. I wish I adjusted it because I looked wild. But she was like, here's your party hat. And I was like, yay. I was like, okay, let's go to... I was like, this is what I needed. She's distracting me already. I'm like, let's go party. So she rolls me into another waiting area. I'm waiting there for a bit. She comes back to ask me some questions. She's like, oh, what's your date of birth? And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this is my date of birth. And she's like, huh. She's like, interesting. I'm like, do tell. What is interesting? Tell me. We are now best friends. She's like, oh, I'm 10 days younger than you by like the year. Obviously, that's what 10 days. I was like, 10 days younger than me? Really? And are you going to be in the surgery? I was like, I trust if you were a doctor at 14 and you got the qualifications, you could operate on me. But like thinking about it, been younger and where I am at and then been like doing their work, she's like helping me, like help like a thing that I need to have done. I'm like, and she's younger than me. She's got her life together. I was like, wowzers. It was one of those things I was so taken aback. I was like, I'm older than you, and you just gave me my party hat. I was like, I feel like a child. And like they like, she was so nice and she was talking about it. And then I was like, actually, yeah, like we're both Scorpios. I was like, don't know if you believe that, because I was like, you're in medicine and I don't know. I was like, my family's all Scorpios, so crazy vibes. And I just kind of waffled. It was one of those things. I started talking, got nervous and kept talking, but she was so lovely and she was distracting me, which was great. And then the actual like knockout doctor came in and she was like, oh, like, how are you? And she was these people were so lovely. I was like, so like overjoyed to have like those people. And like, obviously there are probably great doctors and nurses and anesthetic doctors and all the assist, all the people everywhere. But I was very like happy to have this like these people here. She came in and she was like, hi, I'm here to like do that. And she's like, I hear you don't like needles and like your dad's had a couple of issues with like, and I was like, yes, like thank you for like talking about that. And I was like, I just don't like. She's like, what do you not like? And I was like, blood, needles, everything. I hate it here. And she's like, you know what, I'm the same, like I do it every day, but when I go in, I was like, you're making me feel so great. I was like, I'm having a really positive experience here, which is great. I was like, would go back just to chat to these people. And she was like telling me about that. Another nurse, I'm going to assume nurse, because she didn't introduce herself. She just like stuck her head in and I assumed she was going to be in with me. She looked like the quintessential mum. She looked like a mum and it radiated mum energy. And that's what I needed. The other two, well, the one that was younger than me wasn't giving mum energy. The other lady was giving mum energy, but this lady was giving the mummest energy. And that's what I need. A mother's energy is so... She might have not been a mother. I don't know. I don't care. She just radiated that for me. And it was what I needed in that moment. But she like stuck her head in and she's like, oh, like... and she was like talking about, like, oh, don't worry, like it'll be fine. And I've got these 3 people telling me how fine I'll be. And then I'm like, maybe I feel too fine. I was like, stop telling me I'm fine. I'm so fine. Like you guys, I wasn't scared to begin with. They like... over pumped me up. I was like so confident. But then the mum glasses, the lady with the glasses who was giving the mum energy, she like leans in and she like starts like asking me like questions. She's like, what do you do? And I was like, oh, she's really trying to get my attention. I was like, I know, because you're trying to get my attention, that they're putting the needle in. I was like, oldest trick in the book. I'm so I was like, I love what she was doing. I love that she was trying to like distract me because she knew I didn't like needles. But I was like, she is trying to distract me so hard that I am now hyper aware of the needle, which isn't bad because I can't feel it with the numb patch. I was like, I'm actually fine. But they're like, oh, it's all done. And they were like, I was like, y'all, we should get drinks after this. I was like, we're having a great time. They're all thinking, and then they're like, okay, we're going. I'm like, oh, we wheel me into like an actual operating theater. I don't know. It felt very like room where you see an operation happen on TV. I was like, oh, this is serious. I literally said to them, I feel like I'm on TV because I was freaking out. And then I also uttered the words, I think it was something like, am I going to pass out yet? Because I was like, because they put something in me, but I didn't know if it was like the actual knockout or not. And they were kind of talking about how, they hadn't done it yet, but they're putting something in like slowly. I was like, okay, cool. And then the final thing I remember, which was the best thing ever, the lady with the glasses who is giving the most mum energy, she came up to me and she was like, oh, I know you're nervous. And she like grabbed my hand and she's like, how do you feel about holding hands? And I was like, oh, yeah, fine. And she was like, even if you're not big, I think it's just a great thing. I'm just going to hold your hand through this. And I was like, I could cry. I was like, you are so nice. I was like, you are doing the absolute, like, you don't have to do this. I'm like, I'm a fairly grown adult man. I was like, and you are just being the absolute nicest, sweetest, but they were all very great. But she was like, you know, went above and beyond to like hold my hand. As like, she's like, I'm just going to hold it till you fall asleep. I was like, this is like such kindness that this person, I was like, I hope, like, I send all positive energy to all of them, but like, her, she went above and beyond. I was like, you're the nicest person ever. Like, this is like, if I didn't already feel a bit calmer having you all around, you've really helped me like stop, because I was freaking out a bit. You could probably see on my face that I was scared because I don't like that vibe or environment. And she was so lovely. And that was the last thing I remember. I think like holding out, and then I guess I just went out, and you know, then you wake up and you're like, whoa. It's kind of weird because when you fall asleep, like when you go to sleep, you kind of know the last thing that happened because you like, you can't fall asleep and you know you're sleeping. But when you get knocked out, you're like, oh, I don't remember going to sleep. So it's kind of like, when did that happen? What happened? And you're just kind of awake. It's very weird. But I woke up and I was like, okay. I was like, yep. I'm here. I was like, I'm alive. I was like, good, I'm awake. Someone comes in, they're like, we've called your mum. She's on her way to pick you up. She's like, would you like a sandwich? I was like, how do you know me so well? I was like, actually, I did. My doctor came in to talk to me before the surgery. And he was like, do you have any questions? I was like, I have several. One of them is, when can I eat? Because I'm starving. I was like, more importantly, when can I drink? Because I need something to drink. She's like, yeah, like, yeah, we've got a sandwich here for you. Would you like a cup of tea? Would you like a coffee? Apple juice? I was like, apple juice would be lovely. And I was like, oh my God, the sandwich was divine. It probably wasn't that interesting, but I was so hungry at that point. I was like, this is the best sandwich I've ever had. Please compliment all the chefs, all the people that work here. This is fantastic. I was going to be like, did they ask me about allergies? I don't have any, but I guess they have everything they need to know about you, so they would know those things. My doctor came to talk to me. He's like, everything went well. I was like, thank you very much. He's like, I'll see you in a couple of weeks. I was like, thank you very much. And they're kind of like, okay, you can get dressed now and we'll go down and get some medication and go see your mum. I was like, I just woke up. I was a bit, I was like, oh, we really got up, we really got up quickly, because I feel a little woozy still, but I was like with it enough. I'd been in bed at like awake for probably like 20 minutes. Oh, they did have me sit down for a while, but I was like still a bit light on my feet, but I was fine. I was like, cool. So I like went home that day and then just kind of like chilled with mum and dad for the rest of the day. Basically, mum and I just like watched Modern Family for like a couple of hours. I rewatched Poor Things. If you haven't seen my reaction to Poor Things, it was a wild ride of a movie, very fun. But I was like, yeah, like it's a really interesting movie. I was like, mum will like it. And I was like, halfway through, I was like, mum's not going to like this. And I realized I forgot how like weird it is to that movie. And like to watch it with your parent, I was like, maybe it wasn't the most interesting choice. Or like most like normal choice to pick to watch with a parent, but hey, it was a vibe. I still enjoyed watching the movie the second time, but yeah, and then they kind of like catches up to today. I'm recovering. I'm taking it somewhat easy, but I'm still doing a lot. I can't, like, there's a part of me that really wants to just spend a day, like, but because I know, like, you know, I've got certain pains and I'm like recovering and healing, but there's like the part of me that's like, well, I can speak, I'm cognizant, I can move, I can thingy. Like, I was technically meant to take like a week or two off going to the gym. Already went back this morning because it's just that's how I want to like see my friend who I go to the gym with. I want to keep moving. I want to keep working. I want to like do those things. And I have like I was like, just certain social things I do in the week. I was like, I'm not really up to it. But I was like, if I'm not doing those things, I need to get out of the house. So gym has to be back on the table. But it was one of those things I was like, yeah, well, I could have taken some time off, but I'm just going to keep doing stuff. And obviously, this isn't the most like physically demanding thing to do. But also I just love doing it. So I want to like get back to do it, keep doing it, stick to my schedule. And it's so fun. And then I get like, you get I feel like I get a very positive feel from like the things I get to do. And that's the healing that I need. Well, it's a mentally healing. Like physically, I should be getting more sleep. But other than that, we're doing okay. But that's it. That's my hospital story. It wasn't the craziest. I had a very good experience, which was like, I am very blessed. I'm very happy and thankful and grateful for that. Because obviously there's probably heaps of people who've gone through horrible experiences and heaps of people who've gone through good experiences. But yeah, I was very happy. I thought there was like some good funny moments. Me just been generally nervous and crazy as usual. But yeah, it's been a weird week, and it'll be a weird couple of more weeks as I heal and like move forward. But we're doing well. We're doing well so far. I hope you've been doing good this week. This is really all that I had to talk about because it's the only thing that it was a very fun recap in this all. But I was like, that's all I've got for this week, or else I've been inside. Yeah, I hope you've been doing good this week. Bit of getting some sun or not, depending on where you are in the world. Drinking plenty of water. I don't know, developed my parental instincts. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. I hope you've enjoyed and are having a great day. And I hope to see you in the next one.